My name is Jamie Hafner. I am the harp instructor and the director of undergraduate studies at the University of North Texas. We have a giant variety of programs that we offer, and just the sheer size of our college allows us to have students explore a lot of different activities. You can be a part of gamelan ensemble and harp ensemble, and you can also play with the Symphony Orchestra and sing in jazz singers. There's very few places where there are that many ensembles of that high of a caliber. Currently we have 8 harp majors at the University of North Texas, which is actually one of the largest programs in the state of Texas and really in the Southwest. As being a harp major, they're expected to be involved in large ensembles, of course. They take harp lessons. They're part of Harp Ensemble, which is UNT Harp Beats. And along with that, they do a lot of chamber work as well. In your sectionals, make sure you guys are clear about when you're going down or when you're doubling or what. Students need people to be able to play for, and they need professional experience as well. And Dallas-Fort Worth area is amazing in that. We have a wonderful harp society that really supports us in every single way. Generally start off with the same classes that every music major would. That includes theory, large ensemble, which would be either orchestra or band, harp ensemble, which is the UNT Harp Beats, lessons, and then some other academic class. A first-year student usually gets to experience a breadth of studies, and as they go further into their degree, they become more and more specialized. And similarly, as they go from undergrad to master's to doctorate, that specialization just becomes more and more narrow as they become an expert within their field and within the field of the harp. I think to be a successful student, you need to be prepared and open for ideas that challenge what you've always been used to. What I'm really looking for is the growth ability of that student. Are they willing to work hard on the things that they need to address, those pockets in their education that they might have missed along the way? And also addressing those things that are going to make them unique in the field. Not only can you be a classical harpist, you can be a jazz harpist, you can be a composer harpist, you can, beat on the harp. I mean, you can write electronic and MIDI music for the harp. All of those are harpists, Celtic harpists as well, historical harpists. There's so many genres, and finding your niche within the harp world is key to making a profession for yourself. I'm looking for students who are willing to take that leap into being not only really great in their field, but being unique. Yeah, good. Ensemble, and this is one of the reasons to come to UNT as well. There's not very many harp programs that offer a harp ensemble experience like what we have here. The students not only perform on campus for a lot of presidential events and throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth community, they've actually received quite a few other accolades. The students played their own arrangements, original arrangements, which ranged from Inspector Gadget to Braun Wire Stomp by Led Zeppelin.
And I was playing around with some different ways. I'm not sure what's the best thing to do. I wrote it out as doing. We could just play it like either maybe PDLT.
Because of this, we've really become recognized in the national and the worldwide harp community as being a leading force for harp study. Just in the fact that proportionally there are a lot fewer harpists compared with trumpet players and pianists and violinists. And so just the fact that people don't see it every single day, I think it makes it attractive just because it's different. But beyond that, the harp has such a unique sound, and not only each harpist has a unique sound, but each harp itself has a unique sound. There's no way to just perfectly manufacture that sound. They've done studies on this. My understanding is that they've said that between the horn and the harp, they're saying that statistically those are the two most difficult instruments, right on cue. Two most difficult instruments to play. My understanding is that the way they've studied it is how difficult it is to hit the right note at the right time. So one of the things to understand about the harp is that we have 7 pedals, and there's 3 positions for each pedal. So that means that there's 3 different pitches for every single string. So if you multiply all of that out, 7 pedals, 3 positions for each pedal, 47 strings, you have about like a 1 in 3,000 chance of hitting the right string at the right time, maybe even less than that. But there are over 3,000 different configurations of the pedals themselves. Because this is a double action harp, it means that there's 3 different positions for each pedal. And if you look at the red string, that's a C. When the pedal is in the upmost position, the string is the longest. So that means that the string is this long. Then if I move the pedal down 1 notch, it engages the first set of forks, which makes it not flat, but natural. Same string. And then if you move the next pedal notch down, turns it into a C sharp. So you have 3 positions for each string. So this is C sharp, C natural, and C flat. It just took harpists a really long time to figure out the best mechanism. 100% sure they go all the way.
See, I had no idea.
Because they look pretty old.
Well,
We play an instrument that is very old, really one of the very oldest instruments. Yet, the modern harp is very young. And as you can imagine, the machinery and all the mechanics within the harp have only recently been developed. And so the thing that is so great is that here behind us, we have basically the whole modern history of the harp. And much of our playable repertoire has come through these 3 harps that are sitting behind us. And so in terms of students learning pedagogically, it's important if you play Mozart that you're thinking of something like this harp, that it wasn't written for the modern pedal harp, and you have to play with that sort of sensitivity. Everything together, the pedagogy, being able to play music with the correct amount of sensitivity, understanding mechanically what was possible at the time, tying in with history, and then tying in with what we do in a modern age. That's really what education is about. I've known David for quite a few years. He was one of the first people that I met when I came to UNT. And he, out of the blue, gave me a call. It was late one evening, and he said, "So, Jamie, what do you think about maybe adding a few harps to your fleet?" And I was on cloud 9 from that point forward. But really, as you can imagine, harps are not easy to come by, and especially harps that are as rare and special as these instruments.
I had this collection, and I did not want them broken up. I did not want them sold. I wanted to keep them as a unit. This has taken basically 3 decades to collect these instruments. I did masters here, and my thesis was on harp construction, and I thought, this is perfect. I found a home for my guys. Some of these screws are just very tiny, and you got to be very careful when you unscrew something you don't pop the head off. You won't find a replacement.
Actually, it's a very specialized area of expertise, and we're lucky to have somebody in the Dallas area who knows as much as David does about
The fattest part of the soundboard is right in the middle. It gets thinner as it goes out to the side. Now that's a phenomenon that happens only through here, it doesn't happen up there. But Erards also beefed up the middle because they get quite pot-bellied, and this is where they break, and sure enough, this board is broken. And here's the fret. There's a little bar here, pulls the string against the bar, and you get a pitch change.
It's amazing. Wow.
Don't build up on sound. Well, the Mozart Suite harp concerto is written for this one, the tiniest of harps. Could not be played in a room like this. Would have to be played in a little parlor.
And it's interesting because it's completely different from how we standardly perform that work today, which is normally for an audience of many, many hundreds in a gigantic hall. I think this is exactly what gets to the education standpoint of it, which is that having that context is so crucial. And we can go and look at these harps and say, well, yes, this is why it's different. This is why this passage is different difficult on the modern harp. There's something graceful and beautiful about it that everybody seems to agree. You're so close to the sound of the harp. You can't get any closer than that. If you have a day with dry skin, you'll sound different from a day when your skin is sweaty, you know? And so on a daily basis, I think it's always evolving, and it's a bit of you that goes